Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me tonight is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel? How was your weekend?
Very good, very good. Friday, not the best with the Canucks losing in OT, but Saturday also not the best. I guess Rangers couldn't close out the series. And the Avalanche were terrible. We'll get into that. And Sunday was incredible. Started out with Alexander Schauffele's in the final pairing at a tournament, a bigger tournament. So you know what that means. Just bet the other guy. Unfortunately, it was Rory, and I'm kind of reticent there because he's a bit of a choker himself too. But he owns Quail Hollow, that golf course. I think this is his fourth victory. So yeah, I was betting him all day long to take down Xander, and Rory actually killed it. Xander did what he always does. He leaves the putt short. He's choking. He's shaking. And yeah, that was a good experience. I hope we get Xander in the final pairing in as many golf tournaments as possible because the result is going to be the same 90% of the time. He's not going to win. So that was good. The hockey was great. What were the games? Florida, of course, come back from behind, beat the Bruins, and a kind of lucky goal in terms of the non-GI call that
we'll discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, and then Nuggets back in, baby. I forgot to mention Friday. I think they dominated that one, and on Sunday, just fucking Jamal Murray is back. His calf seems to be okay, and yeah, tied the series 2-2. I kind of gave up on them after losing both home games, but now we're right back where we started. So love that. And then finally, the Canucks once again just continue to own the Oilers. It's an arty party. Like our Seeloff has been incredible. Like who needs Demko? It's been a real fun time here in Vancouver for that reason, among others. But yeah, great Sunday. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I made some money on golf there. I had Xander, then I hedged with Rory, so I was able to come out on top there. Hockey was good for me. My Canes stayed alive. I hit the Rangers plus 2.5 live. I hit under 7.5 live, so that hit. Stars came through. Jake Ottinger was really on his game Saturday night, limiting. I think that McKinnon didn't have a point, right? Yeah, or McKinnon had 1 point after having no points the game prior. But yeah, Ottinger's on his game, and then Panthers really took it to the Bruins there. Yeah, a few lucky goals went their way. Lucky calls went their way. But nope, they were a much better team. Outshot them 41-18. And then I don't know what's going on in Edmonton with goaltending. Jeff Skinner, Cal Pickard was in there for the third period.
Did
I say Jeff Skinner? Stuart Skinner, yeah.
I've heard that a few times now from other people. Like they keep confusing the two. I wonder why.
Maybe Jeff Skinner would be better in that for them. Yeah. I don't know. And I heard some speculation today from Elliot Friedman saying that maybe they have Jack Campbell down there in the AHL. Maybe they bring up Campbell before they go to Pickard. But I imagine they give
the Oilers reporters I was listening to. They all think it's going to be Pickard. If anything, he'd be their first option, not Campbell.
I mean, Pickard started some games in the regular season, right? Yeah.
Yep, he was all right.
How did he look in the third period? I didn't stay up for that game.
The Canucks were barely in the Oilers zone. It was all Oilers, but I mean, he was better than Skinner.
Yeah, and then at the end of that game, you had the cross-checking after the final horn, which led to a fine to Zadorov and 1-game suspension to Carson Soucy, which people aren't too happy with. But I guess it's the NHL trying to crack down on the after the horn stuff, especially with like the Morgan Riley on Ridley Grigg stuff. So all that nonsense.
I don't think it would have been a suspension if it wasn't McDavid.
No, it wouldn't have been.
Because he didn't mean to cross-check him in the face. Just Zadorov hit him, and then he fell into Soucy's cross-check. And McDavid started it too, like swinging away at the ankle.
Mm-hmm. It's two-handed swing at the shin, got nothing, and then he flies. Yeah, it's just who it is. So, yeah, good weekend of hockey. Make sure you're subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Tell a friend. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Like and comment there. Follow on Twitter at HockeySGPN. And make sure you check out the WNBA podcast. I believe that tips off on this Tuesday, May 14th. So make sure you check out the WNBA podcast and make sure you subscribe to the SGPN network feed to get all the podcasts in the network on one feed. Right. So one thing we didn't mention from those few games there, the Sam Bennett conversation with his sucker punch, not sucker punch on Brad Marchand. What did you think of that? I personally didn't think it was too bad, but after the fact, I'm hearing like Sam Bennett has a reputation for this type of stuff with the Matthew Nyes play last year. Not a lot of defending coming his way from former players on panels and whatnot. So maybe there was something to it, but Marchand stayed in the game until he made a hit later in the game and the concussion spotters pulled him out. So I know they're probably just playing it up to try to get calls in the future games, but I don't think Bennett did anything too bad there.
No, me neither. And the Bruins are the last ones to complain because they have someone just like Bennett on their own team and Brad Marchand. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just a shoes on the other foot, so to speak. Yeah, it's just playoff hockey. That's what happens. Once again, I see no reason to suspend him, and yeah, they got that call right, but then they missed the blatant goaltender interference there with Bennett shoving the guy into Swayman and then scoring himself. That was a pretty nifty goal, but worked out for us. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of all the whining about the officiating and all that. It's just the whole discourse is a little bit much. I'd rather just talk about the games than this stupid official stuff. Like, they're gonna get stuff wrong. Shit happens. Whatever. Mention it and move on. But it's like half the shit I listen to is just all about the officials. So, yeah, I'm just tired of that aspect of it. But and then people say, "Oh, what's the point of replay review?" That's my point. What's the point of replay review? It's still not solving anything. There's still complaining about it even after they review it. So yeah, it's much ado by nothing. I don't really care. It's a great series. Like they're almost double the amount of hits in the other series in the East. So that's another reason why I love the winner of this series, likely Florida, to beat the winner of the other series. It's going to be a far more physical affair that the Rangers are going to encounter in conference finals. But yeah, that's I'm not too interested in the official stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you said it before, like talking about the officiating is the lowest form of talking about sports or whatever, but it's a topic of conversation because it was a 1-goal game. The tying goal was that goal, and there just needs to be consistency because we saw it last Panther series. The Lightning were called for two goals in the elimination game that went for the Panthers on similar plays, less contact that were called goalie interference. And this one wasn't. I saw some people saying like, he wasn't going to save it anyway. So kind of like the uncatchable pass play in the NFL, but that's not in the rule book. They just need to get it right. If you're going to have video review, get it right. I don't know if there's a way to eliminate like the judgment call in it because it all does go to Toronto, the situation room. The only thing I was thinking is like make this crease smaller, and if you're skating the crease, that's it. Like go back to that. Like so you have a line like they zoom in on the pixels on all sides. They can zoom in on the pixels on the crease, and the goalie gets a small box. But yeah, you can't be in there. But outside of that, he has to try to play his position. And if a player falls on him a bit too easily, that's the case. But I feel like that wouldn't happen. I feel like that's the most realistic or possibly fair, just thing to do. But it's just going to continue being a topic of conversation every playoffs. And more realistically, they should just get rid of coaches' challenges. Every goal should be reviewed. Don't make a team in that position challenge, think they're going to win the challenge, and then go on the PK when they just tie the game.
Yeah, my position, just get rid of reviews altogether, except for, if the puck crosses the goal line. I think that's the only thing that should be reviewable. Although, because one more thing is just, I've said this before, but, when you're watching a game, big high leverage moments, like say overtime, and you see something that could be offside, that your team you're backing, they're borderline offside, and then they score. It's like when they're trying to score, when they're shooting it on net, you're like, oh man, I can't really celebrate if this goes in because then I got to worry about the review to see if that was offside. So it just ruins the pure joy of the moment. So that's where I come at it as a fan. I'd rather sacrifice some of the objectivity and live with more human error and regain that pure joy that you get when the puck goes in the net. The referee signals it's a goal, and the goal horn sounds. That's the moment you should be celebrating, not having to like half celebrate now and then half celebrate after the goal is officially allowed.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And that Hurricanes, was it the tying goal or the go ahead goal, because the tying goal for the Rangers was awful on Freddie Anderson with Lafreniere backing off of it. But like they weren't sure if it was like a high stick or a broken stick or like a missed stoppage. Like if it was missed on the ice and the players didn't stop, keep going and yeah, play to the whistle.
Indeed.
All right, we are brought to you by NYRA, but the second jewel of the Triple Crown with NYRA bets. Sign up today for a $200 deposit bonus with promo code SGPN200. Join now to claim your $200 deposit bonus just in time for the Preakness at nyrabets.com/SGPN200. You can also bet $50 each on the Belmont and any track with a first post at 6 p.m. on Friday for a $10 bonus, win or lose. Also, earn a $15 bonus, win or lose, when you bet at least $75 each on Belmont at the Big A and Monmouth Park. Shout out Monmouth. Visit nyrabets.com to opt in. That's not all. Score big with a 20% bonus on your ticket winnings by hitting an exacta on any or all races at Belmont at the Big A on Sunday. Also, a contest free. Enter the Friday feeder contest. Earn your entry to the next $300 contest, plus cash prize and all that good stuff. Check everything out at nyrabets.com/SGPN200. And of course, check out Underdog Fantasy. Playoffs are here. Check out Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't signed up, use promo code HGP. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like shots on goal, points, block shots, and more. Going up to 100 times your money on mix and match across hockey or other sports. So yeah, sign up now with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, Joel, ready to get into this 2-game slate for Tuesday, May 14th.
Well, we could talk about the other series, the series that are going on right now, and the Avalanche one. Like,
oh yes, we have the news of the Avalanche series. I was trying to bury there. Yes, just before we started recording, forward Valerie Nichushkin has been suspended a minimum of 6 months for a failed drug test, which is stage 3 for violation of stage 2 treatment plan. He's suspended without pay for at least 6 months and then eligible for reinstatement. This comes 90 minutes before crucial Game 4 against the Stars. How are you feeling as an Avs fan, an Avs somewhat backer, and a Stars backer?
Yeah. Well, betting wise, it's good, but it sucks for the team. It's selfish behavior. Like, we can excuse the one before somewhat, against the Kraken there. But this one, the second time it's happened in 2 years. It's unforgivable. It's hard to take as a fan. You got the guys in the room have to be feeling let down by this because he knows the consequences of doing that shit. And yeah, it sucks. Like, he's been absolutely on fire. Maybe the drugs were helping him fire the fuck in the net because he's been a beast out there. The Avalanche aren't winning anything, I don't think, without Nichushkin. It's a huge blow, down 2-1 in the series now. Maybe the team rallies, but I think they're going to be shook. And you mentioned Durant might be back for this one. But yeah, it's a big blow. Guy is a playoff warrior, but unfortunately, just selfish to the end.
Yeah, the Avs are already having a hard time with him. Getting Druin back, I thought maybe might help him get back in this series. But yeah, tough look for Nuke there. Definitely tough on his teammates. I'm not sure what he's going through, but yeah, it's horrible timing. It's horrible to do it all, really. But yeah, and before right before heated playoff series against this division rival. Very well, the winner of this series could go on to win the Stanley Cup, if not win the West, based on how the other series is going. So tough for the Avs. I think it's just. I mean, we already saw the line move in tonight's game. I'm not sure if the line's moved yet on the series price, but this just gives the Avs one more hurdle to jump over, and they didn't need that.
No. And just going back to game 3, Stars really locked it down. They did what kind of expected them to do in the first 2 games. They did not succeed in that at all with the 2 major comebacks by the Avalanche. One successful, but the other one not. But yeah, Stars were playing elite defense, locking down the channels, and they did what the Knights did to the Avs in the DeBoer years. So that was more what I expected. But it's gonna be an interesting series. I guess Gorgiev has been fine. Ottinger has found his game. Like, he's up and down with this guy. Like, he looks like the world's best goalie, and then other times he looks like Jeff Skinner. So it's a fun series, but it's not going great for the Avalanche. So they need some, like, watching the game in the third period. Like, they had zero force. Their usual stuff wasn't working. There were no adjustments, and there wasn't anyone other than McKinn really driving the net. So yeah, you got to be able to do that stuff if you want to win games, especially against a team as deep and skilled as the Stars are, with a goalie at the top of his game. So yep, that series is looking pretty rough now for the Avs. We'll see. Was it 6:30 or 9:30 or 10 start tonight?
9:30, I believe.
Okay, so puck should be dropping in about 30 minutes. So it'll be a fun one. Game 5 or game 3 was a disappointing one. Oh shit! Speaking of disappointing, good for you though. The Hurricanes just tied it up.
Hopefully there's no goal interference or offside. So I'm not gonna celebrate too hard yet. But yeah, I mean, that game was a 4-1 final. But you remember, it was 2-1 until those 2 empty net goals. Looking at all the advanced stats, I mean, the Avs had expected goals advantage all 3 games so far. It's just been the goaltending and whether Ottinger's on his game or not, and that's been what it was. Then the other series, Canes Rangers, looks like maybe extended, or at least past regulation here with the Canes.
Another 1-goal game. All series.
Jordan Stahl looks like scored with Dmitry Orlov assist there. So I'm hoping that series goes on, because I was just looking ahead on the schedule. Tomorrow, Tuesday, could be the last 2-game night of the year, of the season here, with 1 game Wednesday, and then Thursday would be Vancouver and then Carolina, if Carolina wins game 5 here. And then Friday you'd need the Panthers to win game 5, or the Bruins to win game 5, which I don't know is necessarily happening. So hopefully we can get some longer series. It's been a good second round after, first round wasn't fantastic, but the second round's been a few good series here.
Well, I want to get my Rangers bets home, so that's first priority. But I guess the silver lining would be more entertainment, more hockey games. It's always good in that respect. And secondly, the longer series goes, the more beat up the winner is. So be an easier matchup for the Hurricane or the Panthers. Hopefully they finish the series tomorrow. Game 4. That was the Hurricanes' best game by far. I thought they finally got their special teams clicking. Even the goals they allowed were not really their fault. Unlike this one, I saw the Rangers goal. It was a great play by True, but blocks a shot, goes down the other way on a 2-1 on the penalty kill, and just rips it by Freddie. Hurricanes special teams continues to be their Achilles heel. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one here. Maybe we'll get some more overtime.
Yeah, we'll see that. The Eastern Conference. I guess we'll get into that when we talk about the Panthers game here. Right then, we're going to get into the Tuesday games.
Let's do it.
All right, kicking us off at the 7 p.m. time slot. We got the Boston Bruins at the Florida Panthers. Game itself is in Florida. Panthers, huge favorites here, minus 220. Panthers on the puck line, plus 125. Bruins are at plus 180. Bruins plus 1.5 is at minus 150. Over unders at 5.5. Over paying off -105 with the under at -115 here. Maybe go with the Bruins here. You can't lay -220 on the Panthers. I have something. I bet them to win in 5 at +200. Once I saw the Marchand news, so I'm riding that out. I'm riding out my Panthers futures here. But if you were coming into this game, like +200 for a team like the Bruins, even with Marchand questionable or likely out, it's worth it. Swayman can steal a game. It was 3-2. The Panthers needed that help from the goalie interference there from Sam Bennett on their tying goal. So maybe Swayman can put up another great performance to win this one, but I wouldn't recommend betting that. If anything, bet the over. I think over 5.5 -105. 6, 7, 8 goals first 3 games. Could see Boston pulling the goalie a few times if they're down late. So yeah, the over 5.5 at -105 would be my play here.
Yeah, it's a crazy high price here. I think obviously Marchand is a blow, but I don't think that this line should be this inflated. It's kind of like this Rangers game here, and they're expected to seal the deal, but when teams are back against the wall, they typically play their best game. And yeah, at +180 there with the Bruins, they've been in the series. They haven't been totally outplayed. I know for the most part the Panthers have been a better team, but Bruins have been in it largely when their goaltending is in it. Like Swayman has been fine, not quite as good as he was against Toronto, but the Panthers do have a way of bothering goalies and whatnot and making it harder on them. So it's just too big of a number. I think +180. I think for the Bruins would be a small bet if I wanted to bet the game, which I probably won't. Like you, I'm just gonna ride the Panther stuff. But the total, I think I'm going against you in that. Under 5.5. As the series go longer, we see the fucking stupid flying eel. Fuck off! You're not a Washington Capital anymore. Kuznetsov.
Kuzi.
Oh,
so Canes in 7.
Okay. Yeah, so the under 5.5 would be my look. Bobrovsky, hasn't been elite. I think he has a sub 900 save percentage, but he's making some ridiculous saves. And yeah, the Bruins don't generate a ton of shots. Panthers, they got to face Swayman, and of course, the later series goes, the fewer penalties there typically are. So under 5.5 would be my look, and lean to the Bruins if you want to bet the game. But I personally won't be. I'll be at the bar, so I might just bet for the fun of it, but not nothing serious.
Yeah, I may end up taking Bruins +1.5 at -145, -148 here. I think that could be a 1-goal game, could be overtime. Gives me a little bit of a hedge middle option with my Panthers +200, and maybe even like a Bruins +1.5, under 5.5, or Bruins +2.5, under 6.5. Probably get you a decent price there. Get you something to root for in this game if you don't have many futures. All right, Eastern Conference odds. The Panthers are -105, and the Rangers are +135. I guess that's a early preview of a potential series price. Is that about what you expected?
Not quite. I did think that the Panthers would be quite that favored, considering they are going to be going on the road. But they are the better team. Market respects them as a better team, and they're not as big as favorites as the Hurricanes were. And I think the Panthers, of course, are the better team, at least in the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit high on the Panthers, but the way to play the P's is to just bet the cup stuff. I think because they're going to be likely favorites in the Stanley Cup Finals, unless it's Dallas. Well, Oilers have a ton of respect too, but yeah, massive favorites against Vancouver, of course. And yeah, Vancouver has definitely a shot to get there, especially with a 2-1 series lead, as we'll talk about in a bit. Yeah, the Panthers would be all right. Barkov and Kachuk, Conn Smythe, I think that's a good way to play them as well. Yeah, or just look at the exact market. Pick a team you like in the West that goes through, and then bet against them with the Panthers. I think that's the best place to look at the moment.
Yeah, Barkov and Kachuk have come down a ton since. I mean, Barkov's had a great game, that one great goal, the winning goal against Boston there.
Verhaeghe and Bobrovsky are the only realistic candidates that I do not have in pocket for the Panthers. So Reinhart, Kachuk, or Barkov would be very, very good.
Yeah, I don't think Bob could win it on the Panthers. I think the Panthers would probably score too much, so Bob wouldn't get the credit. Which
no, like I said,
he probably shouldn't.
He's got a miserable save percentage. He's got the flashy saves and whatnot, and he could get hot, but no, it takes a lot to win the Conn Smythe as a goalie, and in this new high scoring league, it's even tougher to do so. Yeah. So yeah, got to go with the skater, I think.
Oh, checking today. I have a ticket from January 31st. So I guess that's around when the Lindholm trade was made. Panthers versus Canucks at 51-1.
Oh, so nice.
That'd be pretty nice to hit there. Yeah, I mean, and I also have a ton of Panthers cup and future and conference too.
Does FanDuel still have the live Conn Smythe stuff? None of my books are offering Conn Smythe stuff during the games, but I remember last year that's where you found the Pavelski one, right?
Yeah, they have who are you looking for? I mean, Kachuk, Barkov, both
just
50.
Wondering in general.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned Swayman possibly when the Bruins were winning 2-0. If he was still 30-1, that'd be a possibility. But
he's 95-1 now.
Yeah, now I don't think he can win really. Wow, 95-1 is a crazy price though.
Kuznetsov, 500-1.
500-1. Oh, I mean, Hurricanes. I guess anyone could win. He has a bunch of goals in the playoffs, doesn't
he? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I guess 500-1 can't blame me for that. But yeah, I don't think the Hurricanes winning shit. So not my bet. Yeah, so look at FanDuel during the games, and if you see someone going off on a team that you like to win the cup, then that's what you do.
Yeah. All right, going down to the late game tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. We have the Vancouver Canucks at the Edmonton Oilers. Game itself is in Edmonton. Oilers -205. Oilers puck line +120. Canucks +170. Over under at 6.5. Over paying off +102 with the under at -122. Joel, can your Canucks keep rolling here?
I think so. I mean, they haven't been outplayed by the Oilers. Like whenever they're in a close game, the Canucks are the better team. It's just like the score effect. When the Oilers are behind, that's when they pump the big guys. They have them playing like so many minutes. Like McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, they all like 30+ minutes in a 60-minute game on Sunday, and that's not sustainable. As the coach Knobloch said himself, that they can't keep doing that. So maybe you see some reduced time for the Oilers, but if they're trailing, I'm sure he'll be desperate enough to just keep playing them. And the longer the series goes, the more they're going to weigh her down. Like you saw in the third period there, they were kind of bumbling pucks, whatnot. They looked a little bit tired. Like those guys aren't used to playing that much, not even close. So yeah, it's not a sustainable strategy for the Oilers playing those guys all the time. But you can't blame them considering the lack of depth. Like whenever those guys aren't on the ice, the Canucks are easily the better team, and because they're the deeper team. Like Elias Lindholm has suddenly turned into Elias Lindholm of old, and he's historically owned the Oilers when he's with the Flames. And he's playing like it again. Another 2 goals and just a face-off warrior, matchup demon. Very, very good player. And Canucks are finally getting fair value after he was looking pretty bad for most of the regular season after acquiring him. So yeah, Canucks 5-5 stuff. I love it. They just got to stay out of the box because the Oilers power play is like a cheat code. Yeah, like McDavid and Draisaitl just stay on the ice the whole 2 minutes, and you just hanging on to your balls and just hoping that you get a clear at some point. Oh my word! Okay,
3-1 Canes.
Yeah,
let's go. All right.
Oh man, going back to Raleigh, not good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like the Canucks here. +170. They're 6-1 against Oilers. 7-0 or not 7-0, but. The Oilers haven't won in regulation against the Canucks. It took an overtime goal in game 2 to finally beat the Canucks. And yeah, I mean, the Canucks are getting some luck, no doubt. Like Shelovs is not going to be quite this good forever, I don't think. But, they're riding high. And that's why this team really feels like a team of destiny. All the luck that's gone for them this season. And, starting with the early, insanely high shooting percentage and save percentage. The historical PDO stuff, and now in the playoffs, just these crazy comebacks, getting these bounces like that Corey Perry almost scoring, and Shilov's had the puck in his glove. He might have been across the line, but because he's wearing the black webbing, I think that Elliot Friedman was saying something like this, that it depended on like the Canucks jersey choice. Like if they had the white wedding, it would have been easier to see the puck if it crossed the goal line. So there's little shit like that. It's like it's leading to believe the Canucks are this like team of destiny that are going on a deep run here. And yeah, market does not like them at all. Oilers once again huge favorites. So give me the Canucks plus 170. Ride them and die. Ride them till I die. Ride them till they die. Someone dies. But yeah, plus 170, great price. Love it. Love the Canucks. Yeah, and the total, I guess. The Oilers power play and the Canucks power play has been much better lately. I mean, that was a struggle towards the end of the season, but it's been good. And of course, Oilers goaltending is not good. So yeah, once again, the over 6.5 would be a look. And yeah, stronger play on the Knuckleheads.
Yeah, how can he not go over here? Over 6.5 at a plus number, plus 102. I know. Last game it took until the goalie pull, even though there were 4 goals in the first period for Bouchard to get the 7th goal there. Draisaitl was just an absolute dog, though. Another multi-point game. 3 multi-point games in these series, 7 out of 8 in these playoffs. So keep an eye out.
And he's playing hurt, no doubt about it. And he's still doing this.
Keep an eye out for him. Power play point. Might be able to get at plus odds. McDavid's usually minus odds. Over 1.5 points was plus odds last game, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, Canucks plus 170. They've not been the better team, but they've had the not shitty goalie. So and Shilov's has been good in the playoffs before. We talked about he kind of came out of nowhere, but yeah, he's been good. Skinner's been awful. Pickard, I don't know if Pickard can play well enough to win a game if the Oilers only allow 19, 18 shots like they did the past 2 games, but I can't trust Calvin Pickard in the playoffs here. Yeah, Canucks getting a lot. Shilov's incredible. Like even after the final horn, like that Zach Hyman shot that was a great save by Shilov's that could have went in, it would have been after the horn, but still. So he's on his game. So yeah, I love the Canucks here plus 170. Canucks in this series are still only minus 110, despite having this 2-1 advantage now. So if you're not on them yet, might not be a bad time. Might still be able to get a not horrible price if they go up 3-1. I mean, just with the respect that the Oilers get. But yeah, Canucks plus 170, over 6.5. I think those are two good plays for this one.
I'd rather have the big money line price than the series price. I think at only minus 110 there. But
yeah, that's true.
You can do both.
Yeah.
Why not? Go Canucks. Yeah. Go team. Go.
Go team, go indeed. All right, we're brought to you by Game Time. There's now an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app you actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Got Phillies Mets coming up. That would be great to go to there. So make sure you can get last-minute deals, save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of time of the game or the event. So yeah, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Joel. So if the Canucks do Canucks Conn Smythe, guys, who are you looking at here? I mean, Patterson finally had a goal. Besser had a hat trick, and then he didn't. Besser's 45-1. Miller's 45-1. Seelov's 60-1. Quinn Hughes 60-1. Pedersen 70-1. Any of those peeking out at you? Lindholm 150-1.
Oh, Besser apparently he can't stop scoring, and he's doing great work defensively, which is getting recognized. So I know last show I said just Hughes or JT Miller, but another couple goals for Besser, and yeah, I'm thinking that he's live too. So it gets a little bit murky. I mean, Hughes hasn't been very productive. He's been taken out of the game a lot. And that's another thing I should have said about the game is that it's very reminiscent of the Knights versus the Canucks last year, like just big mobile defensemen. for the Canucks and just bothering the hell out of McDavid and Draisaitl. They're doing all the same shit that the Knights did to the Oilers. That's another reason why I like the Canucks. But Quinn Hughes, not a big mobile defenseman, obviously highly mobile, but he's kind of getting a little bit bodied, I would say. He wore a lot of the Predator series, so they did some damage on him. So a little bit colder on Hughes as the Conn Smythe guy, but Besser has emerged as a legitimate candidate. He just keeps scoring. Besser, JT Miller, you could bet them both, I guess. Big prices here, 45-1. I personally have not bet any of them. Mostly because I think the Canucks lose to the Panthers in the final. So I'm saving those bullets. Just have Hughes from a while ago. It's one of those two guys I think are the best options to back at the moment.
Yeah, Miller leads both tied 11 points now. Besser's got the 7 goals, so to Miller's 2. Yeah, I mean, both of them at 45-1, definitely not bad options. If you think the Canucks can win the cup, they're 13-1 for the cup right now. So maybe just grab that and take the guesswork out of it in case it is Hughes or in case Pettersson goes off or something like that. Because I mean, Canucks are 13-1. If they win tomorrow, like that should come down quite a bit, but maybe not with Dallas also probably winning tonight. So maybe we'll stay at that. But if you get a 13-1 and they go to the conference final, you can easily guarantee profit out of that. So, I don't know. I don't think the Canucks can win the cup, but stranger things have happened.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You look at the exactas. I don't know if the site you're looking at has that, but
they did probably not during live games.
During the game, yeah. So I would just after the games and look at the exactas. I think the Panthers win the cup, and the Canucks, I can definitely see them winning the Western Conference. Hard to see them going all the way, but that's the way I would do it. Oh, there you go. They got some.
This is conference finals result there.
Okay, all right, no good, but I think the Canucks to lose in an exacta to. Well, I guess the Panthers would be the only one I'd look at. I mean, I think the Bruins are probably drawing dead there in that series. So it's can you parlay it?
If you parlay Panthers Canucks, you get a plus 915.
Oh yeah, the exact matchup there. But I would prefer the Panthers to beat Canucks. Would give you a much better price, and I think that's the way to go.
Let's see if you can parlay a Stanley Cup with a conference. You probably can't because FanDuel's stupid, but. No, can't parlay that. So, but MGM I know has that up sometimes. FanDuel does sometimes too. So it's not a live game, I'm sure you guys can check that out. All right, Joel. Any other betting tips for the good people? Joel's going to be going away for likely a week. We're going to try to record later, depending on his connection. But this could be the last time for a week, and then I'm going away for a little bit. So. What's on your mind? Any long-term Stanley Cup futures you got planned? If things happen, if then, or just kind of riding with what you got.
I've exhausted all my opinions on the affair, but the PGA Championship, the second golf major of the year, is coming up this weekend. Hopefully, I can, I'm going to America. And it'll be hard enough to get them to turn the hockey game on. And it's a very small town, too. Like, all the bars close at 9, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, just use all my data while streaming after the bars close. But they should have golf on in the middle of the day. I know Americans like their golf, so that's what I'll be doing. The PGA, I mean, you could just parlay Scheffler with the Panthers. I'll probably have some of that. It's working out so far. Otherwise, Brooks Koepka's been on fire, but the odds are kind of reflect that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think Brooksy is pumped up for his Panthers? He's gonna go out and win.
Yeah, I need to see him. Like, where is he? He's last year he was all over him. This year, he's not been in the spotlight. So Brooks was having quite the time there when he won the which one did he win? He won the PGA, I believe. At around the same time that the Panthers are going on a roll, so he was having the time of his life. Anyway, the PGA Championship, my only bets so far were Fitzpatrick and Hideki Matsuyama, and I meant to bet them for the Masters. So I just had those. I was drunk, and then I ended up betting them again for the Masters, but they fucked off. They were terrible. Hopefully those guys will play a little better, but no, I'll probably just have Scheffler and Rahm. I think those are the guys to back. Rahm is a crazy long price there, around 20-1 for that guy.
I just checked. I thought it was like 12-1. 12-1 is the best I'm seeing.
All right,
on legal books at least.
Shop around if you can get something that's 50-1 or better. I think that Rahm is the guy to look to. It's just Scheffler's getting all this love, and he as he should, of course. And he's got the new dad bounce too, right? I think that he finally had his kid. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that'll be a positive. Like speaking of that's when Rahm won his first major. I think is when he became a new dad. So it's definitely a thing in golf as well. But yeah, of hockey, I'm done. Nuggets, Celtics to win the East. Nuggets to win the whole thing. That's what I'm rooting for at the moment. Some tennis, big tennis tournament coming up in Rome. I'll be kind of tuning into that a little bit, but that's all that's going on in my sports. And then Champions League final June 1st, but that's a long time away yet.
Yeah, we'll be back for that. Looks like the Canes just wrapped things up with the empty netter there to go up 4-1. Martin Necas, good goal there. Jonathan Drouin is in for the Avs, but Devin Taves is out with an illness. You got Caleb Jones.
An illness.
So, what the hell? Yeah, and John Ram is 16-1 on FanDuel. So that's probably worth taking before it comes down to 12-1 everywhere else. All right. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast, where I listen to your podcasts, YouTube as well. Join us in the live chat there. Follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. And you can follow me on Twitter at RGilbertSOP.
And I'm Joel Martin. You might find me with a bit of a tan. This pale face could be going away as I lie on the beach there and soak up the sun in the American Okanagan.
The American sun will get you. Make sure you use that sunblock down there.
I'm not Irish. Okay, I don't burn. It just gives me a nice brown tan.
All right. See ya.